Welcome to Rise and Learn English. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever watched a Hollywood movie without subtitles? You sit down, you turn up the volume, and the actors start speaking. But something is wrong. You know you have studied English for years. You have memorized thousands of words. But you cannot understand what they are saying. They speak so fast. They swallow their words. They use strange phrases that are not in your textbook. You feel disappointed. You think, my English is broken. I am here to tell you a secret. Your English is not broken. Your English is exactly what your teacher taught you. But here is the shocking truth. Native speakers do not speak the English that is in your textbook. There are two completely different languages. There is textbook English, which is perfect, formal, and robotic. And there is street English, which is fast, messy, and musical. If you want to speak like a native, you have to close the textbook. You have to step out of the classroom and onto the street. Today, we are going to learn the secret codes of the native speaker. I am going to teach you how to change your rhythm, change your words, and change your identity. If you follow these steps, you will stop sounding like a foreign student and you will start sounding like a local. Secret number 1, the magic of lazy. English. In your English class, your teacher probably told you to pronounce every single letter. They told you to speak clearly. So you say sentences like falling rocks, heavy, separate. What are you going to do tonight? But native speakers are incredibly lazy. And in language, being lazy is actually a brilliant strategy. Native speakers do not want to use extra energy. They want their words to flow like a river, not fall like rocks. To speak like a native, you must master connected speech and reductions. You must learn how to melt your words together. A native speaker does not say, "What are you going to do?" A native speaker melts it into, "What you gonna do?" They do not say, "I have got to go." They say, "I gotta go." They do not say, "Let me see it." They say, "Let me see it." This feels wrong to you. Your brain is telling you, that is bad grammar. That is incorrect. But you must ignore that voice. If you want to blend in, you must shrink your words. You must connect the end of one word to the beginning of the next. When you start shrinking your words like gonna, wanna, lemme, and kinda, you instantly lose the robotic textbook sound. You start flowing. You start sounding like a native. Secret number 2, the invisible sound, the Schwa. There is one specific sound in the English language that native speakers use more than any other. It is the secret ingredient to a perfect accent. But most beginners have no idea what it is. It is called the Schwa. The Schwa is a very short, lazy, relaxed sound. Because English is a musical language, we do not give every syllable the same energy. We only put energy into the most important words. The unimportant words get crushed. They turn into the lazy schwa sound. Look at the word banana. An amateur will try to pronounce every A perfectly. They will say ba-na-na, but a native speaker makes the first and last A lazy. They say bu-na-na. Only the middle part is strong. Look at the sentence. I can go to the store. An amateur says, I can go to the store. A native speaker crushes the small words. I could go to the store. Do you hear that? Can, to, and the all sound like lazy grunts. Kun, to, the. When you stop trying to pronounce every vowel perfectly, and you start using the lazy schwa sound, something magical happens. Your speech speeds up naturally. Your rhythm becomes smooth. You sound effortlessly native. Secret number 3. Phrasal verbs are the real vocabulary. Imagine you are at a party. You are tired and you want to leave. What do you say? If you learned from a textbook, you might say, I am exhausted. I will depart now. If you say this, people will look at you strangely. You sound like a professor from the year 1800. A native speaker says, I'm beat. I'm gonna head out. The biggest difference between an amateur and a native is vocabulary. Amateurs use single formal verbs of Latin origin. Investigate, tolerate, continue. Native speakers use phrasal verbs. These are small verbs combined with a preposition like look into, put up with, and keep going. Instead of saying, I will investigate the problem, a native says, I will look into it. Instead of saying, he surrendered, a native says, he gave up. Instead of saying, I am going to exercise, a native says, I am working out. If you want to sound like a native, you must change your diet. Stop memorizing lists of advanced academic words. Start collecting phrasal verbs. Watch modern TV shows. Write down the 2-word verbs they use and practice them. Phrasal verbs are the true heart of casual, everyday English. Secret number 4, the sound of thinking, fillers. What do you do when you are speaking English and you suddenly forget a word? You probably go completely silent. You freeze. The air becomes quiet, and it feels extremely awkward. Native speakers forget words all the time, but they do not freeze. When a native speaker is searching their brain for a word, they make noise. They use filler words. Filler words are the glue of natural conversation. They mean absolutely nothing, but they keep the conversation alive while you think. Instead of awkward silence, a native speaker says, you know, I mean, or like. Let's say a native speaker is asked about their favorite movie, but they can't remember the title. They don't stay silent. They say, oh man, what was it called? It's like this really old movie, you know? I mean, I watched it years ago. Look at all those words. Like, you know, I mean. They didn't say anything important, but they sounded completely natural. If you want to sound native, you must learn how to fill the empty space. Stop being afraid of the pause. Fill it with a natural English sound. Next time you are thinking, just say, well, you know, and watch how relaxed the other person becomes. Secret number 5, the actor's mask. We have talked about lazy sounds, phrasal verbs, and filler words. But the final secret to speaking like a native is not about your mouth. It is about your mind. Language is strongly connected to our identity. When you speak your native language, you feel like yourself. You feel comfortable. When you speak English, you probably feel like a different person. You feel small, shy, and insecure. To speak like a native, you must become an actor. You must put on a mask. When an actor plays a role in a movie, they change their body language. They change the way they walk. They change the way they breathe. When you switch to English, I want you to create an English alter ego. This is a new version of yourself. This new version is not shy. This new version uses their hands when they talk. This new version smiles easily, makes strong eye contact, and laughs out loud. When you practice alone in your room, do not just read the words. Act them out. Pretend you are the main character in an American movie. Stand up tall. Breathe deeply from your stomach. If you adopt the confident body language of a native speaker, your voice will naturally follow. You might feel silly at first. You might think, this isn't the real me. I am just pretending. Yes, you are pretending. But that is the secret of the human brain. Fake it until you become it. If you wear the mask of a confident native speaker for long enough, the mask becomes your real face. The fake confidence transforms into genuine, unbreakable fluency. Conclusion: the beautiful rhythm. Speaking like a native does not mean you have to be perfect. Have you ever listened to native speakers talk to each other? They make grammar mistakes every single day. They start sentences and forget to finish them. They mispronounce words. Being native is not about perfection. It is about rhythm. It is about flow. You are going to stop trying to be the perfect student. You are going to start melting your words together. You are going to use the lazy schwa sound. You are going to trade your academic words for simple phrasal verbs. You are going to fill your pauses with you know and like. And most importantly, you are going to put on the mask of confidence. Your accent is beautiful. It is the story of your life. You do not need to erase who you are. You just need to learn the new song. You already know the lyrics. Now feel the rhythm, open your mouth, and sing. The world is waiting to hear your voice.